So I want to start off with how old your website is. And where you want your website to go is massively important. The age of your website is going to determine if you want to utilize a package 1, level 2, or level 3. On the reason that a newer site is not going to be able to handle a level 2 or level 3 is because of the authority and the amount of links. On top of this, generally, older websites do not have a lot of backlinks already built to them, and they really don't have a lot of trust in Google's eyes. So if your website is less than 6 months old and you've never built a link before, then please utilize basic package level 1 on Grey Hat SEO, or utilize a regional package from another vendor. So the age of your website is critical because we don't want to force too many authoritative links. We don't want to change the anchor text of the website, and we do not want to tarnish your reputation in Google's eyes. I want to cover for press release distribution service. Are you ranking already? Ranking on page 1, page 2, page 3? Are you non-existent? Are you not even in the top 100? If your website is not ranking, then it's not going to be a good idea to fire in hundreds of backlinks with exact match anchor, naked anchor, or branded anchor text. The last thing you want to do is take a non-ranking asset or a new asset and start firing in backlink. How to choose the best PR type, that's press release type, from greyhatseo.com or any other vendor. My name is Chris Palmer, and I hope that this video gives you clarity around my press release distribution services and other vendors. I want to share with you how to choose the best PR type. So the very first question that you'll want to ask yourself is, how old is your website? The age of your website massively determines which level or which package you want to utilize. For instance, if you have a 6-month-old website or less, you do not want to utilize a level 3 package of 1,300 backlinks. The reason is because we do not want to send a bunch of authoritative links to an asset that Google doesn't already value. Plus, on top of that, we don't want to tarnish your potential rankings firing an authoritative link to a site that doesn't already have links, doesn't have age, doesn't have ranking. So the age of your website tells the tale of a lot of things. Most notably, this will let you know that you want to use a level 1 or a regional package. If you're utilizing Grey Hat SEO, do a level 1 link to your homepage and also your primary service page. That's only one press release pointing to 2 separate pages. You do not want to send high-powered links at high velocity, at high volume to a brand new website. So how old your website is will determine which level or which quality and how many links you should be building. So you have to ask yourself, how old your website, and are you already ranking for primary terms in your location? Most notably, do you show up for your brand? If you don't show up for your brand and you don't show up in the top 100 for any of your terms with a basic level 1, do you have any backlinks already? And the age and the rank, and do you have any links already? These all go together in choosing a basic, a level 2, or a level 3. Do you want a lot of links? Do you want a low amount of links? Or do you want a lot of links that are really authoritative? The age of your website, the rankings of your website, and do you already have links pointing at your site will massively determine this. Here's the reason. If you have a year-old website, and let's just say that you actually do rank for some of your terms, if you start firing in high-powered links at high velocity, all of a sudden, the last thing we want to do is look like we're trying to manipulate search ranking. So if you don't already have some links, and you're not at least 6 months old, and you don't have any rankings, skip over the level 3 package. Maybe a level 2 package could be in your best interest, or a level 1. Have you built a press release before? If you've already built a press release, there is a terminology that you need to know that a lot of other vendors will not be forthcoming with, and this is called purging. A purge, because of so many different press releases being released every day for every category, every 3, 6, or 9 months, some sites do it every 2 years, every year, it varies. Websites that are news outlets are going to purge pages in order to make room for new ones. Have you built a PR recently? Are all the links purged? Are you thinking about building links to pages that already have PR links from us or another vendor? If you've built a PR package from us or another vendor in the last 90 days, I would say either go with a basic package or maybe perhaps wait for some of the link decay to happen. What's link decay, you ask? Link decay is over time, Google doesn't keep crawling old links, right? So they lose value in the cache, they lose value in the index, they lose value over time. Not only do we want press release websites to purge some of the links, we also want Google to devalue some of the links before we build links to a page that we already built PR links to. Or if you have already built a PR with us or another company, don't send it to the same page. Diversify your link profile and your anchor text. And this really is building on or piggybacking off the last question. If you built PR links to pages that now you're trying to get us to build links to. If you've already built, let's just say 500 referring domains, and you 2 weeks later or a month later come back with the same 500 referring domains and want to point it to the same pages, you're not getting any value out of it. Great for the vendor, not good for you. If you're on a monthly recurring package and you want to push links, you want to keep your velocity going, you want to rank for as many terms as possible, and you've already built PR links in the last 30 days, diversify to different pages. Send those PR links to another page. Yes, you already have the referring domains, but there is, if we're looking at a third-party metric, let's use Moz metric. A lot of people know what Moz is. If we're taking a look at Moz's metric, PA, page authority will go up, yes. On top of that, there's also DA, which is going to be the domain's authority. So if you're building PR links to a page that in the last 30 days you've already built, the page rank isn't going to go up. The DR isn't going to go up because we already have those referring domains. So what do? Well, you pick a new page, power up. But if you point the same links to a new page or pages, you can diversify your link profile. Even though you're building the same referring domains, you can still power up individual pages or a page that you want to. 30 days, don't build the same links to the same page. Really give it 90 days. You want to cycle through. And this is what we recommend with our package 1, package 2, package 3. We cycle through. All right. Regardless of a quarterly package, we're going to cycle through our link. We know that every 90 days, we want to hit your pages. If they're competitive enough, we're going to cycle back through. Every 90 days, we want our whole PR profile to hit the pages that you want to rank. If you're getting a level 3 from me, right? A level 3 press release distribution, that's a level 1 and a level 2 put together. That's 500 links plus 900 links, roughly. All right. Don't quote me on this. It depends on niche and time of year. However, let's just say that we have 1,300 links that we could point at any page. Well, every 90 days, I want those 1,300 links to be pointing at the pages that you want to rank. This way, the velocity is up. What's Google? A spider. They're going to crawl that link. When Google crawls a link, they hit your page. What happened? Recache, re-index, revalue, refactor. That's the power of a link, even if it's not in the forward-facing index, in the search result. When I build a link, Google comes and crawls, comes and sees what's going on. You move up in the index. Are you in a competitive market? So if you're deciding on a very high authority package, say a level 3 or a level 2 from us, you need to really contemplate if you're a small business owner, and you're a single service, single location business, even if you have a very old website or if you have a very old asset, you're ranking for your key terms, you haven't built any PR before, is it really worth the $300 or $400 or several $1,000s with other vendors to build these links to pages? Single service, single location, more is not better. Higher price isn't better. More power isn't better. When you plant a seed, you don't hurry up and just give it all its nutrients and all its water and all its dirt and do everything all at once. No, it's a slow progression and you let everything happen naturally. The same with your website. Don't be in a rush. Don't try to blast your website. Do it gradually and slowly, and more is not always better. So unless you're in a competitive market or unless you think it's going to be competitive, there's no need for high-powered or high-velocity links. Let's move on to the next question. Does your competition use PR? The reason why this question is very important is because Google utilizes what is called a link graph. Now, briefly, the link graph was originally started by Google. If you take a look at AdSense, Google already classifies sites. For instance, if you've utilized AdSense in the past, you know that a financial website pays more per 1,000 views than, say, a recipe blog. Why? Because Google has classified that the viewers that view the financial blog is worth more. So this is also the same concept. Classification is the same concept utilized for backlinking. Google classifies sites not only by the content and the traffic, but also the referring domains pointing to your website. If your competition is receiving mass media, newspaper, regional, or media PR links, our distributor is one of the top 4. It's Global Newswire. So if you're taking a look and you see the category of link being, say, mass media, newspaper, digital media, information services, you know they're using PR, perhaps take a look at our sheet at greyhatseo.com. Take a look at our different distributions and see if your competition is using high authority or maybe just basic level. Get into the link graph right next to them inexpensively with one of our PRs. How to choose a PR type. So how you choose on greyhatseo.com is you want to know, is your site old enough? Is it brand new? Has it just gotten there? If it's only 6 months, use a basic. More isn't better and high potency isn't better. So how old is your website? So if you're 6 months or less, go with a basic. Are you already ranking for your brand name first? Do you have social profiles? If you search for your name, do you show up at the top? Great. If on top of you searching for your name and you ranking, how about your primary term? Are you on the first 3 pages? What about your term plus a geo modifier? Or perhaps secondary terms? Do you rank in the top 3 pages for any of these 3 things? Brand, primary term, or secondary term with geo modifiers and without? If you're not on the first 3 pages, basic is going to be the best for you. Moving along to, do you have any links already? Do you have any links at all? You do not need a level 2 or a level 3 or high-powered links from me or anyone else if you've never built any link. Carry your socials and your foundational first. Have you built PR links in the past? If you have, diversify by building to other pages. If you've built with us previously, have you already done the basic? Have you done level 2? Are you ready for a level 3? And what about purge time? Has it been within the last 90 days? Don't build the same links to the same pages with the same anchor tag. On top of this, if you've already built a high-powered package, don't build the same package to the same pages within 90 days. You're wasting your money. On top of this, you don't want to stack your PRs either. Like if you buy a $500 package and then buy another package and point at it, the only person that's good for is the PR vendor. Let's move forward. Have you built PR links to the pages you want us to point to? So this means if you've already built links from us or another vendor utilizing the same network in the last 90 days, you're not doing yourself any credit. The only thing you can do if you've already built all of our links is diversify pages and anchor text. The example that I gave was utilizing a third-party metric called MOD. There's DA, which is the domain authority, and PA, which is the pages authority. If you build all of our links and point them to a page, your PA, the pages authority, has skyrocketed. The overall domains authority has also skyrocketed. Now, if I build those same package to that page, the PA and the DA aren't going to rise. Why? We already have those referring domains. So how can I take advantage of PR, cheap links that are authoritative and safe? Well, you point them to separate pages. And yes, it's correct. Your overall domains authority will not rise, but your pages authority will. And you can vary your anchor text. So have you built PR links to a page that you want us to build to in the last 90 days? If so, diversify pages or packages and vary up anchor text. Next, are you in a competitive market? More is not better. Faster is not better. More of the same thing is not better. If you're a single service, single location, I don't want to see you buying a level 3 package of 1,300 authoritative links. It's not necessary. Don't waste your dollars on something that's unneeded. Don't overkill, because the only thing that would happen is Google will get confused. And what happens when they're confused is they derank. There's no need for a single service, single location that has no links and no rankings to be firing in level 3 packages. So unless you're in a competitive market, or unless you're at least 6 months old, or unless you've already built some of our other links, don't buy a level 3, gradually build up. But then again, do you even need those links? Does your competition use PR? This is all about the link graph. You want to be next to the winners because you are a winner. Just like AdSense. AdSense is a way to classify sites. Google set the standard of classification not only on sites and content, but also the link graph. So if you're in a market and you can see using SEMrush or another third-party SEO tool, and you can see that your competition has PR links, news links, publisher links, mass media links, or links that are on the lists that you can find on greyhatseo.com/PR-service, right? If your competition has the links that are on my list, you want to stand next to the winner. Get those links, especially if they're inexpensive. Do you need an expensive PR? I hate to break it to you, but there's only a few big companies out here that offer distribution. Now, there's a lot of small companies that are all selling the same thing, and they do something called value stacking. Just because it sounds good doesn't mean that it comes with authoritative links like AP News or Business Insider or Forbes or The Standard or The Mirror. Take a look at the authoritative links within a distribution and then make your decision on if it's actually worth it. Also, on top of this, looking at other factors like age. Did you build any links? Do you even need these links? What's the competition in your market? Do you need an expensive PR? Well, don't let someone upsell you. Does my competition have these types of links? Is the value going to exceed the cost? Expensive does not determine performance. So take a look at your competition, take a look at what's actually in the distribution, and if they won't show you what's in their distribution, then by all means go to greyhatseo.com because we display the entire list. And here's a way to value check. When you're looking at high-priced packages, feel free to look up links that are the most authoritative. Sites like Business Insider, Yahoo, Yahoo Finance, MarketWatch, AP News, Benzinga, the typical site. Of course, depending on your niche, time of year, category, and if you've built links previously, the list will change. But take a look at their best authority link. The cost of the authoritative link should cover the rest of the links that are in the package. For instance, on our level 2 package, we give on average 700 to 900 links, right? If you take a look at the package, there's 40 links that are high authority. Even if I were to average those links, those 40 links at $10 a unit, it's still cheaper than what I'm offering the PR for. It's very easy. If you go to Google Images, or if you just do a Google search, look up guest post or buy guest post or buy PR placement or cost of placement on this site. Look it up in Google. And if your value doesn't stack right, then it's not a buy. And that's how I evaluate when I'm buying in bulk, right? So do you need an expensive PR? Hopefully this has given you some clarity around this. Are press releases duplicate content? Yes, you're creating one piece of content that is going to be then distributed to 75,000 different media outlets of all types, schools and newspapers and media publishers, and there's all types of media outlets, all different types. You push it out to everybody, and depending upon availability and also your niche, the time of day, have you done any other PR before, and then the category of your site, this is going to determine which links you get, but it's always the same articles distributed across all sites. Then what happens is there's something called syndication. Some other big sites will also pick it up, but they're just syndicating it. So to answer your question that I get all the time, are press releases duplicate content? Absolutely. And this is why the links that show up in the forward-facing index are always the most authoritative. What's the forward-facing index? We're talking about the search result. So when you do a search for your press release title and you take a look and there's only 50 sites out of say 500, the reason is because all the sites have been omitted from search result because they're duplicate. But duplication of content is not a penalty. In fact, plagiarism is. On top of this, just because it's been omitted from the search results and it's not in the forward-facing index does not mean that Google did not crawl and cache and index each of those links. You got credit for the link, but it did not make it past the quality guideline to show up in the forward-facing index. Only the most authoritative did. You still get credit for the link, and you still get credit for all the authority and all the context and all that content that you just put out. Put out 900 links. Google saw almost all of them. They kept the best to show forward-facing, and they omitted the rest. Do all PR links index? I want to give you some more clarity around indexation. There's called the search result. I also like to refer to this as the forward-facing index. And there's the cache, and then there's the actual index. Google crawls, caches, and indexes every site that has a hyperlink that they see. Now, there's other filters in place, quality filters, all types of filters. Remember, Google search is a product just like their ad platform or map. This is their product. So what they forward face in the search results is only their best. To give you an example of this, when you do a release with us or anyone, let's just say that the release has 100 high authority links. Google will probably showcase only the best ones in the search result and the rest will be omitted. What does this mean? This means that Google saw, crawled, cached, and indexed, but then omitted the sites that weren't authoritative enough to make it in the search results. Do all PR links index? Almost all of them. Now, how many show up in the search results is another story. Is there ways to get a higher indexation rate in search results? Of course. But if Google doesn't value it, Why should you spend money or time force indexing? We just want to get credit for the links and the overall authority. Plus, on top of that, you're probably only looking in one search engine. Plus, on top of this, just because it's omitted on Google doesn't mean it's not showing up on Bing or Yandex or Baidu or any of the others. On top of this, just because the search results are being omitted from where you're searching from does not mean that if a location-specific person sees KLJS of Kansas City and they're looking for a limo company and you have a press release towards or near that particular publication, Google's going to showcase that, even if it was omitted searching from where you're searching from. Do you need a niche PR? There's a difference between a business wire, and there is differences or small nuances between mass media distribution companies. And there's only a couple big ones. Some of the bigger companies are PR Newswire, Global Newswire, Access Wire, Business Wire. Everyone else, Cision is another big one. Everyone else is just a middleman. Even us, we buy in bulk and we re-offer to small business owners like you from Global Newswire, right? We buy in bulk to get a discount so we can offer the general distribution to you, all right? So do you need a niche PR? What's great about a press release dashboard from a vendor's point of view is it's going to be released to the 75,000 or 110,000, depending on your niche, different media outlets. It's a distribution. So Global Newswire, I think they boast 75,000 different sites or 75,000 different assets that they're going to push it out to, right? We create the article, we tag it, we also select the niche, and then we distribute across the entire network. The people that pick it up are going to be the basic or general newspaper and media outlets alongside of your niche or regional sites that are going to be topic specific. Are you with me? So you always take the same release, push out to the same 75,000. Who picks it up? Well, the general sites pick it up, the authoritative general sites pick it up, and then your niche or regionality is also going to pick it up as well, all right? Now, this is for general distributions from companies like PR Newswire, Cision, EIN, Global, Access. Very, 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 very similar site, very, very, very similar distribution. If you're ever curious, okay? But here's what I implore you to do. The person that's offering you a service, probably for a much higher price, grab an article for the competitor that you want to choose over us for whatever reason. Grab their title, take it over to google.com, put it in quotes and hit enter. Take a look down the list of pages that are indexed, all right? And then look for Global. That's our distributor. And you tell me if you don't see the same site or at least the same amount of sites that have equal authority. I guarantee you will. I've been through this before. My goal was always to maximize value over cost. On top of that too, there's another hidden jewel to Global Newswire that I really love that I don't want to disclose now, but let's just say that it has to do with no follow and follow link, all right? There's only two providers, big providers out on the marketplace that we tested that actually have a higher percentage of do follow links, or maybe they hide their do follow. Oftentimes when you're being bold on niche specific at a much higher price, you come to find out it's just a general distribution with a bunch of value add-on. Don't waste your time or your money. What is a PR kit? So this is a common question that I get, and depending on the niche or the category that I'm proposing a press release for, perhaps your industry like real estate, law, chiropractors, dentists. But what a PR kit is really just the foundation of every good PR. What's this mean? This means that you're already going to submit an image, a logo, your name, address, phone number. You're already going to have a quote handy. You're going to have an outreach email. You're going to have a customer support email. You're probably even going to have a phone number or a cell phone number or a customer support phone number, right? The information to contact your business along with quote and your logos and your images and your embeds, all your details, that's your PR kit, all right? Now, every business needs it, but sometimes there's a lot more emphasis if it's a hyper professional service like a lawyer or real estate or chiropractor. They do things in my terminology, a little bit more fancy, but everyone needs the same information, all right? So hopefully that helps you out with that. So you can send a PR link to every page. And I should have mentioned, is it safe to send a PR link to every page? But without boring you too much, let's just say, for instance, you were going to utilize GreyHatSEO.com's level 3 package. That's our level 1 and our level 2 put together at a discount, right? 1,300 links guaranteed, I believe. Don't quote me on that. You can see the exact numbers at GreyHatSEO.com. Let's just say it's 1,000 links. So that 1,000 links every 90 days I'm looking to point that to every page that you want to rank, as long as you meet all other criteria. Now, you might be a visual learner like myself, but think about these 1,000 links in this press release. I want to point it to every page on your site that you want to rank every 90 days. Now, why would I do this? The reason is there's something called link decay. Plus, there is also something called anchor text variation. So the objective is every 90 days, I'm changing the anchor text. And on top of that, I might be getting new site, but the old link, if they're not being purged, they're actually losing value over time. How does that work? Well, when you build a backlink, Google is a spider at the end of the day. A spider, what its job is to do is to follow hyperlink from page to page to page to page, to crawl, to cache, to index, to rank, right? So with that being said, when you build a link, that's how you start the process back over. So if you want to keep your site top of mind, you consistently build links to the pages that you want to rank. This way, Google has to do their natural process. What do you write about if you don't have any news? Well, everything is newsworthy. If you change the button on your homepage, that's news. That's a press release. You have now just redesigned your website, or you have now redesigned your web page, introducing the brand new whatever you're doing, right? Another instance that we love to do is create awards or rewards. For instance, let's say you're a painting company in Delaware. Better yet, how about you're in Boston? You're in Boston, Massachusetts, and you're a painting company. You can go to Yahoo, Business Insider, MarketWatch, all the big sites like Pfizer and other companies that list on, like huge company. You can give yourself an award, top 10 best painters in Boston, Massachusetts. Or that whole top 10 best is how you're the top 10 best garage painter in Boston, top 10 best hallway painter, house painter, exterior painter, garage painter. You get the drift. On top of this, you can start building entity associations, and you're having authoritative assets pointing to your site, praising your high ability or the high quality standard that your services provide. And you can add it into your schema markup. This is an award. This is a reward. It's great for entity building. So everything is news. And another tip for you is reward. How often to issue a PR? Well, this is a very common question. There's two things that you're fighting against. One is a terminology called link decay. When a link has been placed, let's say it was placed 6 months ago, that means it's moving down in the forward-facing index, the search result. That means Google is less likely to see it, crawl it, re-index it, recache it, and re-rank it, right? So that's called link decay. On top of that, the press release or the news outlets that you're posting your releases on, they actually do something called purging. So you're fighting against link decay plus purging of the actual site. So how often can you do or issue a press release? The safest bet is to issue a press release to the same page, varying the anchor text, right? Every 90 days or every 6 months. You want to make sure that you're not hitting the same pages with the same referring domains using the same variation of anchor text. On top of that, did all of your links already fall? You don't want to waste money. You don't want to build links unless you have to. And on top of that, I don't want to push the same links to the same page with the same anchor text. So how often? Every 90 days to 180 days. So I'd love to give you some clarity on how to write a press release. So you want to have your basic foundation, your hook, your title, primary density around your location, your service, and your primary key terms, right? But not written in a promotional way. Your title will include key term, location, and brand name. That way I'm getting credit for all of those terms. You want to have the date because dates are entities. You want to have your image and your logo. Why? Because I want my image to be synonymous with the terms that I actually provide in the locations I provide them. Why is this important? Because Google utilizes what is called multi-vectoral retrieval. What's multi-vectoral retrieval? Well, multi-vector means the vectors, text is a vector, image is a vector, video is a vector. A vector means different ranking algorithms to sum it up. So multi-vector means that images, video, and text are all going to be a retrieve. What's great about press releases is I'm able to feed Google, hey, here's my brand. Hey, here's my logo. Hey, here's my name. Hey, here's my company name. Here's what we do. I'm able to hit all multi-vectors with a press release all at once. We want to be synonymous with the services we provide, starting with the headline, video, image, primary density, the date, alongside of this, name, address, phone number, description, support, and that ought to wrap it up. On top of this, a press release needs to be in third person, non-promotional or spammy. You don't want to have more than 2 outbound links pointing to different anchors. For instance, if you're a pressure wash company, you don't want pressure wash Boston and pressure wash Naples, Florida. No, they're both pressure washing, but pointing to 2 different locations. You want to be location, service, and brand focused when writing your press release. And then have in the back of your mind that, hey, Google's a multi-vectoral retrieval engine. We want to make sure that we're hitting all facets, including what? Image, video, and text. All right. The goal here is to become synonymous with the services we provide. We want Google to see our brand, our name, our face, our logo, and our URLs next to the services we do in the locations we do them. All right. So that's how you write it. And then if you want to see really well-written site, any site you want plus press release, and then your key terms and quotes, it'll show you press releases. This way you can get a really good idea of what these websites are looking for and how to get a blueprint. We'll probably cover this together later on, but hopefully that helps you out. Another very common question that I receive all the time related to press releases is in regards to the follow, no follow directive that webmasters point to link. And that's exactly what it is. It's a directive from the webmaster. So there's a lot of directives. I could say that, hey, I trust where this link goes. Or I could say, nah, I don't trust where this goes. Or I could say, hey, this is a sponsored link. Or I could say that this is a user-generated link. But one thing that I know for sure is Google does not follow directives from webmasters like us. Google follows every link to A, make sure that they're safe, and B, to see if there's anything better on that next hop. Google's a spider. Google's crawling. They're looking for information. They're building a link graph, right? So no follow is just a directive from the webmaster. And don't be fooled by the follow, no follow. No follow still has value, right? Google does whatever they want. If you have any doubt, go look at high authoritative websites in your niche and go look at their no follow ratio. Then you tell me if they're not important. So how we SEO a press release is we take a look at whatever key term you're trying to rank for. For instance, let's say that you want to really show up for Locksmith Miami. Well, we are going to do a search for Locksmith Miami. Even though that's a high commercial intent term, we are going to take a look at the search to understand what density we need. How many words we need. Should I include a listicle? Should I have an unordered list or an ordered list? Should I have a video? Should I have 2 images or 1? We're still following basic SEO principles in order to write press releases that could potentially be rewarded by Google. How do we know if we're going to be rewarded? Well, there's a lot of factors at play. But I'll tell you this, when you're writing or SEOing a press release article, it's going to go on an authoritative website like yahoo.com. If you get your math right, even if it's only short term, you can really jump right up to the first page very quickly. Even though it was temporary, I was able to rank with a press release, almost like a parasite play, even though that's not what we're trying to do. PR sites are very powerful. Basic fundamental SEO when writing these press releases, all right? Density, headers, images, video. Same practice, same principles, same fundamentals. So great question there. If you look up right now in Google, right, go ahead. Take your time and look up top press release distribution company. There is no magic distribution. The sites are all similar. So a question that I always receive is that you've talked to a salesman that probably did a great job. They have an astronomical price. They have a good pitch, or they have a special distribution. It's super niche specific. It's native English writers that are fresh out of college, and they're probably right. What each and every one of the primary distributors have, all the big dogs, even the $1,000 distributions, what they all have is what is called a newsroom. So if you're ever curious, look up your company that you're thinking about going with. Go look up a newsroom. So let's just say it was going to be competitor plus newsroom. Go and take a look at their most recent press release. And by all means, you can even go to their newsroom and see all of their distributions. They even have samples. Take samples from the biggest player, the most expensive distribution, and then take a look at some of the smaller distributions that also have the same exact links, the same exact site. Perceived value is everything. Do not be fooled. There's no magic distribution. There might be a few sites that are different, and there might be some private stuff that they throw on top to value stack, but the primary distribution is almost always the same. And yes, the writing could be different. And yes, you might get extra links, and maybe their turnaround time is faster, and maybe they have a better relationship with some of the top sites, and maybe you get a higher indexation rate. But there's a big difference between $300 and $1,000, and to get 2 extra links, there's no magic distribution. Come and see one of my most recent distributions from Global Newswire. Look at the links. I guarantee you, they're very similar, if not identical, for 1/10 of the cost. Yes, you get links. Yes, they get seen. Yes, there's value. And yes, there is a little bit of traffic. PR drives little traffic. Do not be upsold. I had a client that was doing grips. He was featured on Shark Tank. His site, his product, his website, he was on Shark Tank. He already had a motorboat going. He was featured on the Yahoo homepage. If you're a plumber in Idaho, right, and you're seeing 1,000 in the first week from a press release, I would be very critical to where that traffic is coming from. Better second guess your provider. I've been doing this nearly a decade through multiple distributors, and I've never seen more than 1,000 hits in 1 week. It was like a burst. And that was because he was rolling up. He was a featured article on Yahoo, on all the Yahoos. 2 days, maybe even just a day, he had 1,000 hits. And that was the most. On average, I see less than 500 for regular businesses, unless you've done something really special or unless your distributor is juicing the numbers, right? Do not buy a press release hoping to get a bunch of traffic. Do you actually need a press release distribution? You know, if your site is brand new, if your site is not ranking for its own brand name, if your site is less than 6 months old, you don't need a high-powered press release. Does your competition use PR? Have you done any PR in the last 90 days? Have you built PR to a page that you're thinking about building it to again? Do you have the budget? Are you a single service, single location business, right? But take a look at your brand name. Do you rank for your name? Do you have your social profile? Are you at least 6 months old? If not, get a level 1 at greyhatseo.com. If you're doing a level 2, or a level 3, that means you're in a competitive market. That means that you already have backlinks. That means that you have social profiles and you show up for your brand name and you're ranking on the first 3 pages of Google and other search engines for your primary key terms, key term variations with modifier and without, right? Like if you're brand new and you're just starting and you've never built any links, right? Or your competition doesn't even use PR, there's no reason to be spending $350 on a high-powered press release, whether it's from me or not. More is not better. High-powered isn't better, especially if you don't need it. The reason is if you're trying to manipulate search rankings, Google will demote you. Period. End of statement. More is not better. High-powered is not better. And on top of that, you're firing in all of those anchors. Just because there are no follow does not mean that Google didn't count them. They did. So start small, check your age, check your branding, check your links. Do you have other pages? Does your competition have them? Or go through this documentation and make sure that all your ducks are in a row. All right. Hopefully that helps you out with that. In this video, I'd like to cover value stacking for press release distributions. And I see this all the time. I'll see press release distributions for, $400, $500, $700 that have these huge amounts of links that are generally privately owned, or they'll include podcasts and social medias and RSS feeds and distributions and indexation and all of this stuff that has nothing to do with high authoritative newspaper and publisher websites posting about your brand, your business, and your services. The goal of a press release is to stand next to authoritative sources and say, hey, I am this business. I am this name. I'm the owner. Here's my logo. Here's my embed. Here's my social media. Here's my name. Here's my email. Here's my address. Here's the services I provide. And here's my website. This is who I am. This is what I do. And this is where I do it. And oh, by the way, I'm listing this information on the most authoritative assets I could get my hands on, right? That's the name of the game. Don't be fooled by value stack, all right? You're looking for high authoritative, trusted websites that you've either heard of or you can validate that it's a newspaper, it's a publisher, it's mass media, it's an actual asset, it's a site that has authority. That's what your press releases are for, right? You're building your authority and you're building your entity database. I'm becoming synonymous with the services I provide in the areas I provide them. I want Google to know who I am, what I do, and where I do it. That's what a PR is for. Start gradual. Another question that I receive a lot that I'd love to give you some clarity on as a small business owner. All PR is geared towards niche. Do not be upsold. any distribution, press release distribution that's less than $1,500 is pretty much all the same site. And how it works, because I've used PR Newswire, I've used Globe, I've used Access, I've used Business Wire, I've used PR Web, I've used all the main vendors for main distributions at $1,000 price point or less, actually $1,500 or less, just to try them out. And what I found was the channels or the distributions are the same. What I mean by this is whatever number the company boasts. For instance, I use Global Newswire now. They boast 75,000 digital assets that they're going to distribute to. Maybe it's higher, right? Maybe it's 100,000. So we write the release, we submit to everybody, right? We say, hey, we have this release, will you post it? The companies that post it are going to be the authoritative general websites, the other general websites, the general news outlets, and then it'll be regional outlets and then niche specific outlet, right? Why is that? Because these are real news websites. These are real publishing websites. They're not going to post something that isn't relevant or doesn't make sense or isn't of value to them. Yahoo Finance doesn't post plumber blog. You with me? Now you might go on to lifestyle.yahoo.com, right? Or maybe even yahoo.com. All PR is niche specific. So if they're saying, oh, it's going to be niche specific or it's going to be lawyer focused, yes, they might add some private network, but at the end of the day, if you're using a general distribution, you're getting the same length. Don't be upsold. Don't be fooled. All right. How is my Global Newswire distribution less expensive than Global Newswire, the provider, the syndicator that I utilize? And when you're buying 100 in bulk at a time, to then offer to small business owners, blue-collar business owners, professionals. I'm in the SEO business. You're a service business, or you're a local business, or a small business owner. My business is SEO. So, when you get inventory for whichever projects that you have, that's my inventory, and I'm able to get it for a lower cost because I'm buying hundreds at a time. On top of that, when you're buying hundreds at a time, they're willing to negotiate. Negotiate on things like, hey, instead of your company writing it, where you're going to charge me 10 cents a word, how about I write it and submit it? Yes, they're going to be scrupulous. They're going to go through it. I'll have to go back and forth, but I'm able to write it for a penny a word instead of 10 cents a word. I have more ways to mold a better deal for you and for me, right? So I'm buying in bulk. Plus on top of that, I'm cutting unnecessary costs. Like I don't want to pay an extra $300 to submit to these 200 Google News sites. Why? There's no value there. I want credible, authoritative news outlet in order to offer in a high quality distribution at a fair cost. And that is why if you go to Global Newswire and get the general distribution and look at their sample and then look at mine, they're nearly identical except for 5 or 6 sites. And we're not even talking authoritative sites. How did I do it? Bought in bulk, and I took away unnecessary costs that are going to be charged if you just go to them and buy one.